If you've ever grown jackfruit or even tried harvesting one from a towering tree, you already know, this fruit isn't for the faint-hearted. Jackfruits are huge, heavy, spiky, and often sit way up in the canopy as if daring you to climb. But in today's Soil Stories adventure, I want to take you with me on a journey that mixes gardening, ingenuity, village markets, and old-school countryside charm. It's the story of how a simple three-wheeled truck can turn a heavy, challenging harvest into a smooth, profitable trip from farm to market. Whether you're a seasoned grower, a curious beginner, or someone dreaming about farm life, this is a story packed with inspiration and practical takeaways you can use in your own garden. Grab your hat, we're heading to the countryside. For gardeners, few trees feel as rewarding as a mature jackfruit tree. They stand tall and confident, their broad leaves casting dappled light over the garden. And when the season hits, you can smell the sweetness of ripening fruits long before you see them hanging like giant green lanterns. But there's beauty, and then there's reality. Jackfruits are famously heavy, some hitting 20, 30, even 40 kilos. Harvesting them by hand isn't just a workout, it's a risk to your back, your ladder, and anyone walking beneath the tree. That's why tools matter, techniques matter, and smart transport, that's a game changer. Harvesting jackfruits isn't like picking tomatoes. You don't just grab a basket and stroll outside. When you're dealing with multiple big fruits in one day, you need a clear plan, steady hands, and the right gear. The night before a big harvest, I always take a walk around the trees with a torch. I mark the ripest fruits based on their smell, sound, and skin texture. A ripe jackfruit gives a deep, hollow knock and has slightly raised bumps on the skin. If you're a beginner, trust your nose too. The fragrance never lies. In the morning, long before the sun gets harsh, I set up my tools. A sharp pruning saw, strong nylon rope, a woven sack to catch falling fruits, and a little bottle of cooking oil to keep the sap from sticking to everything. And of course, parked under the shade, my loyal three-wheeled truck waits like an old companion ready for another countryside adventure. Let's talk about the hero of this story, the humble three-wheeled truck. Gardeners often underestimate how heavy produce becomes when harvested in bulk. A jackfruit or two is fine, but 8, 12, a full morning's harvest quickly reaches hundreds of kilos. For small-scale farmers or homestead gardeners, a large pickup is nice, but not always practical, or affordable. That's where the three-wheeled truck shines. It's compact, easy to maneuver on narrow farm paths, low enough for loading heavy fruits, and surprisingly strong. For jackfruit harvesting, it's almost perfect. Loading becomes simple. Roll the fruit onto a sack, drag it gently toward the truck tilt, and slide. No lifting above waist height, no straining your back, and no complicated balancing. It's as easy as pie, really. These little trucks can handle rough terrain too, mud, loose soil, steep paths, they take it all without complaining. In the countryside where the road disappears into the forest edges or cuts through banana plantations, that stability is priceless. It's like having a trusty old friend by your side. Jackfruit trees are long-term companions, often producing for decades. That's why proper harvesting is essential, not only for your safety but also for the health of the tree. You see, it's all about taking care of your green friends, just like they take care of you. I always tie a rope around each fruit before cutting. This way, instead of crashing to the ground and tearing the bark, the fruit is gently lowered, the tree stays uninjured, and the jackfruit remains clean, unbruised, and ready for the market. Collecting the sap quickly is important too. Jackfruit sap is sticky and can attract insects or cause fungal issues if left on the trunk. After every harvest cut, I apply a bit of ash or soil to seal the spot. It's a simple old gardener's trick, but it works beautifully. Once the truck is loaded with big, beautiful jackfruits, each glowing with promise, it's time for the real adventure, the countryside market run. There's something magical about those early morning rides. The roads are quiet except for birds, motorbikes, and the occasional cow wandering across. Mist hangs low over the rice fields. The wind carries the smell of fresh soil, sugarcane, and distant cooking fires. By the time I approach the market, Villagers are already setting up their stalls. Kids chase each other around piles of bananas and sweet potatoes. Elderly sellers arrange vegetables into neat, colorful pyramids, and, as soon as they see the three-wheeled truck loaded with green giants, heads turn. Everyone knows Jackfruit Day brings excitement. Selling jackfruit in a countryside market is unlike selling in a big city. Here it's personal, it's friendly, it's storytelling as much as it is business. People stop to admire the size. They ask about the tree. They want to know how many years you've been growing jackfruit, how you keep your fruits so sweet, what you feed your soil, and how the season is treating you. And that's my favorite part. These conversations build connections. I get to share soil tips, tree care methods, and tricks for boosting yields naturally, and in return, villagers share their recipes, their traditions, and sometimes even the history of jackfruit in their community. Every sale feels like an exchange of knowledge, not just produce. I always bring a sharp knife for cutting samples. Before long, a small crowd gathers, tasting soft, honey-sweet pieces. Children chew happily, hands sticky. Elders nod with approval, and nothing draws customers faster than real smiles and real flavor. As much as this is a story about loading fruits onto a three-wheeled truck and heading to market, it's also a deeper gardening lesson. First, big harvests don't happen magically. They come from years of caring for the soil, mulching, composting, watering at the right time, and protecting young trees from pests. These quiet efforts add up. Second, every gardener should invest in transport solutions that match their scale. You don't need fancy machinery. You need something practical, reliable, and suited to your landscape. For many small growers, a three-wheeled truck is that perfect middle ground. Third, selling your harvest doesn't just support your wallet, it supports your community. When you grow food locally and sell directly to villagers, you're strengthening the entire cycle: soil, harvest, people, and tradition. When I drive home with the truck empty and the pocket full, I don't think of it as profit. I think of it as a conversation between the land and the people. The jackfruit tree gives, I harvest with respect, the villagers enjoy it, and next season, the cycle begins again. For gardeners, these stories matter. They remind us why we plant, why we nurture, why we keep learning and evolving. Gardening isn't just about growing food, it's about growing experiences. Thanks for joining me on this journey from farm to countryside market. If you enjoy practical gardening insights, real farm adventures, and stories that connect soil, community, and nature, then Soil Stories is for you. So, don't forget to subscribe, like the video, and share it with someone who loves gardening as much as you do. Let's grow together, one story at a time.